I've been around the online relationship gig for quite a while now, and approximately about a year ago, I went out on my own. I was involved with an organization mainly focusing on men, and there are a few things about this particular industry that really bother me, particularly gurus, internet gurus talking about relationship, talking about life advice that is not worth anything. I recently talked to a client about some marital advice, and the guy was very desperate to save his marriage. But he mentioned something that has been really bothering me over the past year, maybe 2 years, is seeing some of these price tags of these internet gurus that are just basically preying on people that are desperate to save their marriage. And that's what I want to address in this particular episode. I don't like it. And there's a reason why I'm doing my own thing now and just producing content that's free for you, that you can consume at your leisure. And it's all of it's free. Just be cautious out there because there is a lot of terrible advice when it comes to marriage, dating, career, pretty much anything that's self-help. You really don't know exactly who's telling you these things. So, and me included, I totally admit that. So where did I come from originally? I originally joined an organization after having a little bit of a rough spot in my life, and I joined up to try to help others. It was great. It was a great organization and really good advice. There was other people that were like me that joined up trying to help, and I thought it was great for a long time. And unfortunately, what happened over time is the organization kind of lost its way. Marital advice that was given out was more divorce advice, and it was not my message. And so I decided to go out on my own, and here we are. I joined other organizations too. I'm a big fan of keeping my mind open to different perspectives, and I didn't want to pigeonhole myself in a particular arena. And definitely wanted opinions of women, particularly. So I joined free groups online, podcast fan groups of other podcasters slash authors, just to get a different perspective on what's going on out there, so I could learn. Um, and it worked. I learned a lot about relationships, especially modern relationships, because I've been married for 20 years. It's been 20 years since I dated, and I wanted a different perspective, and it worked. One of the biggest pieces of advice I could give you when it comes to these organizations and these coaches and groups that you can join is always take the good with the bad. Your BS filter needs to be on when it comes to advice, because you honestly don't really know who's at the other end of these messages or other. I mean, YouTube, you don't really know me. I get that. If you aren't comfortable with specific advice or certain advice from someone, that's okay. But you can learn a lot from someone else's perspective. So now to get serious, what should you look out for when it comes to what I'm talking about here? Number one is high price tags. Online self-improvement groups should really only be in the $10 to $15 a month slash $300 to $400 for a lifetime membership range. The guy that I talked to that spawned this episode was talking about an organization to join that cost $5,000. That is absolutely ridiculous. Anything that's going to be in the thousands range is ridiculous, in my opinion. That's what actual therapy is going to cost, or couples counseling, something like that. That doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of people out there preying on the desperate, and that's what I really wanted to warn you about. High price tags. If you see really high price tags, walk. Okay? There's a lot of really good advice out there that you could get for free or even for a very low amount of money. Another thing to look out for is packages. Okay? If a group or organization constantly promotes packages for purchase, walk. get gone. Okay. Your membership fee should cover those things. Okay. Another thing to look for with these groups is attacking either sex, whether it be men or women. If it's hyper masculine or if it's hyper feminist, that's not a good representation of both perspectives. Men and women have their own faults, they have their own qualities, they have their own benefits to relationships. And if one particular sex is being singled out and made to be the bad guy, walk. That's not a good thing. That's not healthy. Another thing to look for is random testimonials. That stuff can easily be faked. So thousands of satisfied clients, anybody can say that kind of stuff. You really don't know that for sure. If they're not giving you specifics on who they've helped or the success stories that they've had, especially when it comes to an organization that you're paying for, you want to know that it works. Another one that I've noticed, especially here lately, it seems like everybody that's starting up these organizations are talking about doing meetups or conferences. Anything over $1,000 for these in-person conferences and meetings, walk. That's not okay. You're going to have to add travel time to that, lodging, hotel rooms. Not to mention the fact that that's going to be difficult to explain to your spouse or your partner. I've done some of these in-person meetups and conferences, and they have a tendency to be a little awkward, especially when it comes to people that you've talked to online. A lot of it was good for me. I thought it was fun and it was an experience. But if it's a constant thing that they're really promoting, that's a red flag in my book. What am I trying to say in this episode? Just be careful of online self-help advice. Always have your BS filter on. If there's something that you disagree with, that's okay. But don't walk away from it if you just disagree with one or two things, because there's a lot of things that you can learn from other people online, from their experiences. That's probably the biggest benefit for online groups, where people can share what's going on and they can relate to other people that have gone through similar situations, and you will realize that you're not alone. So they're good to a point. Be very careful about who you spend your money with because there's a lot of people out there basically trying to rob you, especially when you become desperate. So as for me, take it or leave it. I'm just here trying to give good advice from personal experience and experience of talking to hundreds of people and thousands of people. There's my testimonial, my random testimonial. But I've been around a block or time or two. I've got a very healthy marriage, a very healthy livelihood, great kids, and I want that for you. And I'm offering you this advice for free. Period. So there you have it. Appreciate all those that have subscribed. We're just getting started with this channel. Please hit that subscribe button if this is really resonating with you. And until next time, be better than you were yesterday and be desirable.